October of 2000. Then how the growth of sections and chapters took place as we moved along in the next 8 years till 2008. The first cyber crime was reported in the year of 2001. Um, then how what is the scope? Like he said, he described the scope of the Cyber Law Act. Then we also studied a bit about Indian Penal Code. Then how India became the 12th nation to implement the IT Act in the year 2000, the introduction and the two sections. And right now we are at the second section. We weren't complete as I just read it somewhere. It's related. It also is corresponded to the section 3 that we have to study now. Yeah.
And can you tell me about International Memorandum of Understanding?
Yes.
The India has
Pardon?
done the Memorandum of Understanding.
Yeah. I can. I guess I didn't read that part, but.
Okay. You're not. Okay. No problem. Fine.
Sorry, sir.
Absolutely fine. Yeah. Akshita Sharma, can you talk? Akshita Sharma, she's on hold, means she's in the lecture or she's out of the lecture. What? Just check it anyway. Aman Garg?
Sir, actually, she has some network issues, so she won't be able
Okay.
to.
No problem. Yeah. Aman Garg. Yes, Aman. Can you hear me, Aman? Or you just log in? What is the thing? Yes. You just log in. Just cross check CR whether Aman is there or you just log in the thing. Arpit? Can you
Yes,
talk?
sir.
Yes, Arpit. Can you speak? Can you speak what we are done in just a small glossary sort of?
Sir, actually, last time I didn't know that the lecture was there because I saw the timetable at night and there was no lecture scheduled, so I missed the last class. But the first day class I know, I have taken notes also, so I can only talk about the first day class. So
Yeah, absolutely no problem. The same thing is told by the CR that I generally make the timetable one day before. I really have to speak with why it is
yes,
not coming. Yeah, you can whatever you are know you can just speak up. No, absolutely no problem. You can start. Arpit, you
yes,
can
sir.
just speak out. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first lecture, sir, was basically an introduction or a brief about like the Information Technology Act, where it started off from the basic analogies like what is a cyber law and all. Then we also learned about some key terms or keywords like patents, trademarks, and copyrights, what they mean, and we also learned about IPC, what it means, and also we learned how and when the IT Act started. So we also told about how IT Act was initially passed on 9th June 2000 by the President of India, but actually it was instantiated on 17th October 2000. And you told about how it was initially launched with 94 sections, which were categorically divided into 13 chapters. But later on, with an amendment in year 2008, it grew into 124 sections, which were categorically divided into 14 chapters.
Yeah. But
You also,
yeah. Only just tell me the last point. That what was
sorry.
the thought? Yeah. Just tell me the last point. What are the reasons that they increase the sections or some subparts? What was the thought process for that? Means any specific thing? That's why they just increase it.
Sir, from year 2000 to 2008, the cyber traffic drastically increased because of the social media, like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp and such, and also cyber crimes related to that increased, cyberbullying and stuff, and different kinds of crimes. So that's why they had to make some amendments to that, some improvements, and these are not permanent changes. They'll still be under observation, and they can still be improved or amended.
Okay, great. Can you talk about the international memorandum of understanding India has done to counterpart this?
Sir, I guess this was in second lecture.
Okay, okay. No, no, absolutely no problem. Fine, fine, Arpit. And just
Yes,
make
sir.
sure that you can just ask the CRs and all those who can see the link. Because generally what happens, I share the link one day before. I'm not getting, I'll just talk with the Amol sir, who is a
Sir,
technique in
actually,
charge.
you can keep a recurring lecture which will be there like throughout a
Yeah,
month
but
or
what happened? Yeah, what happened? In the last semester, what has happened? They a little bit rescheduled the everything. So I have to again delete. I have to come with the new thing, and there was some here and there. So that was the reason I'm not intentionally making it. But just keep in mind, every Friday we have a lecture 8 to 10, and if I'm not taking any lecture, I'll definitely share a day before or at least 10 to 12 hours before to the CR. So absolutely don't worry about it. Okay.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Avi, are you there? Oh, I thought.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Abhi, can you just speak out what we did?
Yes, sir. As you asked, I can speak out about the International Memorandum of Understanding.
Very good. Hmm.
So it is a agreement between two or more parties
Hmm.
outlined in a formal document. So it doesn't guarantee anything. It doesn't
Means
guarantee
doesn't guarantee anything means.
uh, doesn't guarantee anything means it doesn't commit anything about the space facilities or any funds or staff. It doesn't expect any deliverables, but it's just an agreement between two or more institution. There is no legal binding or
Hmm.
willingness from any party to move forward with the contract. They can just drop it in between if they don't want to. I understood this
Hmm.
from.
Okay. I mean, absolutely no problem. Tanmay, can you have your this thing word on this?
Yes, sir.
Can you speak on this?
On MOU.
Yeah.
So as far as I read it, it's like a formal document which two parties, basically two or more than two, like that, have to sign,
Hmm.
and they have to agree on some part, basically mutual understanding kind of thing. And but there is no something legal binding on it, on that particular document, that the lawyers has stamped or something like that. That you have, once you have signed on it, you have to agree. So it's like that. If anyone wants, if one of the companies from those who have agreed or has that signature that yeah, we agree on that particular point, if they say that in further time that we don't want to agree, we now changed our point of view, then there is no something like you have to pay any penalty or something like that.
Hmm. Can you give me example?
For example, I don't know, because I guess in the previous class there was no thing which you just described about this MOU. I just heard it in this class, because as far as I remember in the previous classes, the last thing which was done was Section 2 in the IT Act.
I'm talking. I given the example. There is a person from Australia and there is a person from this. So that is the example you can just come with again. And that is the memorandum of understanding, isn't it? Yes, sir.
So I didn't get it.
The simple logic is there. The memorandum of understanding is nothing but a cybercrime performed by any other person who is outside India through internet or through the use of any laptops or computer systems. Okay, not necessarily the internet is there. And I given the example of the one Australian guy doing some frauds. Imaginary example. Okay, so you can come with that example. I given that example in the first lecture as well as in last lecture.
So yeah, I remember it. But sir,
Mm.
if fraud is
You can just you
done,
can just retrieve that example. Simple as that.
sir, sir, but if the fraud is done again, I mean,
Hmm.
that particular example, then obviously he's doing a crime, right? And
No,
for
but how
that,
is why he is punishable? I'm asking that. Why even the Australian guy is punishable? What is the background of that? That is memorandum of understanding what we are talking about.
Okay.
Okay, you don't know? No, no problem. I'll
No, sir.
explain again. Absolutely no problem. Okay, Deepa Kumari, can yes, Deepa, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you speak?
Sir, after that, I didn't understand from where he was saying.
No, no, forget it. Whatever you know, you can just speak out.
Okay, so from starting, we did the introduction where we know about the online crimes and then how the acts actually build up from the starting, from the foreign, like how foreigners performing and all. And then online activity, we come to the sections like we studied about 94 sections in 13 chapters. Then it involved after some crimes, and it get to 124 sections. And then we come to internet technology, like how cyber terrorism is created, and what are the acts in regarding those terrorism. And then we talk about the scope of cyber law. There are three laws, yeah. And in that we did penal code that includes all kind of crimes, like whatever the crimes is applicable in India. And then the various chapters, no no we talk about IT acts. Then we talk about IT acts, how it published, and what are the what is actually. And then we talk about the sections that is introduced in India by Mr. Pramod Mahajan in 1999. And then that's
Okay,
what I write.
okay, no problem. Fine. Ritika, can you just put the highlights? Why Information Technology Act is having a correlation, or it is an integral part, or it comes under even Indian Penal Code also.
Yes, sir.
Means if you can, you.
Sir, I just know why the IT Act rules were made so that they could be under the UN. I know
Mm,
the act that was made by Pramod Mahajan, why it was introduced, and why there were almost 66 countries who were part of the UN nations. And the goal was very specific. It was to implement these IT Act rules.
okay.
The aim was to assist the transactions of e-commerce under United
Hmm,
Nations,
hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay.
or commissions, or international trade and law, which was unicentric.
Okay. 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 Fine. Devansh, can you?
Sir?
Devansh, can you put
Yes, sir.
can you put a light on that? Why Indian Penal Code is also important? Just not passing the act, that is passing the Information Technology Act in both houses of Parliament, but at the same time, it is utmost important that you should take care that it is under Indian Penal Code as well. What is the main thought process, or what is the logic, and why this logic is very important? Can
Is it related to the scenarios that we discussed in under what
absolutely.
cases a foreigner can be punished?
No, that is regards to
Or
the, yeah, no, no, see, that regards to the memorandum of understanding with the international organization, means international countries and their laws, or whatever the bylaws they have.
mm,
This is slightly different. Means why Indian for Information
no,
Technology
sir,
Act comes. Okay,
I don't remember.
okay,
Sorry, sir.
okay. No, no, no problem. Devansh, can you just give the basic introduction of Information Technology Act?
Yeah. So basically, we started when we started with the introduction of cyber laws and everything, and
Mm-hmm.
we learned different terms such as copyrights and trademarks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then we discussed when and why was the Cyber Act was introduced, and by who it was introduced, and how it was amended, why it was amended. And then we discussed under what scenarios an Indian guy can be punished by the under what scenarios an Indian guy can be punished and he cannot be punished under the Indian Penal Code, and foreigner can be punished and cannot be punished under the Indian.
Oh, great, fine. Dheeraj, can you put your views on that Indian Penal Code? Why it is important? Means if you know. Yes, Dheeraj, or you can just give the basic introduction. Dheeraj, can you hear me? He's there or he's not there only? Akash said whether Dheeraj said he is there or he just log in.
So I have to check.
Just check it, you know. Okay. In meanwhile, we'll go to the Harshit. Harshnit Kaur, can you speak?
Yes, sir.
Means if you can put your put the lights on that IPC code, you can. And if you don't know, okay, that's fine. You can just give the brief highlights.
Sir, like why the Indian Penal Code is necessary because it deals with many types of crimes happening in the country, like criminal offenses, then other such things like kidnapping, murder, and all the religion related and everything related crimes. So it's necessary because we need to know who is performing such crimes and we need to punish them for the betterment of the country. So every country follows such code, and in India, being a democratic country, like it's necessary to have such code so that we can punish people who are liable, like who have performed such offenses.
Okay. Fine. It's good. That is the main thought process. Correct. Jatin, can you? Jatin, can you speak? Jatin, I think he is not there. Kanishk, Kanishk, can you speak? Then Kushan Chatterjee. Then we have Mohammed. Yes, Kushan, can you speak? Yes or no? Okay, Mohammed, can you speak? Nikhil, whether these guys are there in the class or they're just logging, I have to cross check. Nikhil, Parekh, Smith, Pratyaksh Chaudhary, Rachel.
Yes, sir.
Rachel, can you speak? Yes.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Sir, so from the first lecture onwards, we spoke about cyber law and how anyone performing any misconduct online can be subjected to some form of penalty. And the bill related to this act was passed on 9th June, but then later the implications regarding this law came into effect from 17th October 2000. And then this IT Act started with 94 sections and 13 chapters. And then two major, later on, major amendments were included. First one was on 22nd December 2008, and another one was introduced later on. And then after that, the first case regarding this, regarding cyber law, was registered in February 2001. And then after that, we talked about the scope of the IT Act and the various chapters and the introduction of the Act. And the reason why this Act comes under the Indian Penal Code is that this includes all kinds of crimes, whether it is
Means
everything
what
related to
happens
crime
basically,
prevention.
yeah, what happens basically that when you when any act is having a correlated with any Indian penal code, it compulsory becomes punishable. Now that punishment can be behind the bars, or that punishment can be money, or it can be a combination of these. So it is utmost important that when you pass any bylaw, that bylaw has to be pass just like a bill in the both houses of parliament, then it really becomes a law which gets applicable for every citizen or whatever that acts
Yes, so
says. Point number
everything.
one. Yeah, and when you correlate or when you do that with the Indian Penal Code, then that act only not only becomes implicable if you don't do it properly, or if you don't perform the duties, or you do something which is violate those laws, then it directly attracts the penalties under Indian Penal Code. So that is very important. Yes, yes, Rachel. Okay, fine. Rishabh, can you? Rishabh?
So I'm so sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah.
Nikhil is trying to unmute and connect, but then he's not able to.
Okay,
So
okay,
he just
okay, okay.
texted me.
Just yeah, no problem. Just tell him to take his own time. Okay,
Yeah.
or he can just write in the chat whatever you want to speak. Absolutely no problem.
Okay, okay, I'll do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Rishabh, can you? Rishabh, I think he's not there only. Okay, Rohit, Rohit, even he is not there. I think Satvik.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Satvik, can you just put?
So, sir, we discussed about the IT Act. In the first session, we discussed about the IT Act. उसके अंदर we discussed about different sections, the 66A section and the 69 section we discussed about. So the 66A had an amendment on 2nd December 2008, and in the start there was 94 sections with 13 chapters, but it obviously increased, and it is like 14 sections are there and 14 chapters are there right now, like 2008 mein. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, why there is a expansion and more details are all that done? Is any specific reason? That is the reason why this act was becoming more and more with more section, more explanation, more details are being applicable, more amendments are done in it. Thought process means once you compare the act which is there in 2000 and once you see that which is right now, a lot of good amendments are done obviously. But what was the reason? Can you tell me?
Because crime rate was increasing and the types of crimes were increasing. The types of cyber crimes were increasing. So it was essential to make amendments to the current act.
Okay, good, nice one. What
Yes.
happened, Shruti?
Yes, sir. Sir, also even Rohit is saying that he has no mic in the chat box, so that.
Okay. Jatin is traveling.
Yes, sir.
Where is traveling?
So to Pune, I guess.
Okay, okay, fine. No problem. Mm, fine. Then we have Shruti. You are done. Shruti,
Can
you are
I go
done. No?
ahead, sir?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, like everyone told, we learned about the evolution of law and how and
Something,
when.
something which is remaining. Can you tell me?
Yeah, I'll do that, sir. So
Yeah.
basically, I'll cover the sections that we discussed last. So in the section one, we it was basically focused on the transactions which were performed, and we discussed how in waters or in the air, how we, range the miles of the country, or how we gather the range of the country. It's 12 nautical miles in the waters, that is approximately 22 kilometers, and even the air
Very good.
of the Indian territory, it's the same case. Coming to section 2, it was the digital signature, and we also learned the difference between e-sign and digital signatures. So it was then we learned about the biometrics and how these two are different, and crypto system, which has the public and the private key both. So we also learned that public key verifies while private key authenticates the data. So that was the main establishment of the difference between the two. And other than that, sir, regarding the IPC, it mainly focuses on what punishment has to be given for the crime that someone is committing. So once the law, like by law, something is passed, then we actually in the IPC we decide what punishment has to be given, looking at the seriousness of the crime.
Very good. Very good. Uh, yeah. Then we have Shubhavi. Can you? Shubhavi Mathur. What happened? Yes, Shubhavi. Oh, Yatin, you're traveling to Pune. Okay. Yes, Shubhavi. Can you speak? You are writing or you're speaking, Shubhavi? Connectivity issue. Okay. You can just write it over there. Yeah, yeah, absolutely no problem. Then we have next who is there?
So this is Oran.
Yeah, Aura, can you?
We started with how law evolved in India, and then like with the use of internet, how people came up with different ways of stealing information online and committing crimes with like various. They use various techniques to do that. So for that, the ITR came into the picture to nullify these online crimes because it is a crime and some punishment had to be given to them. So for this, the ITR came into picture with 94 sections and yeah, with 94 rules. But then as technology evolved on and people came up with new ways to perform crimes over the internet, major amendments had to be made, and then this resulted with the act having 124 sections.
Hmm.
So then, um, so the
Okay, okay,
I
no problem.
So the IPC is like it includes all the types of crimes and the crime performed online and all. They also like they have to be included in the IPC so that the proper punishments or acts, depending on how serious the thing is, are given to that person and like how they deserve
Very good.
it.
Very good.
And
Very good.
so the scope, I would like to speak about the scope of the ITR.
Yeah.
The law is applicable for uh, all activities related to corporate, individual, and all the other institutions. Other institutions, as in, it can apply even to non-governmental organizations because suppose they're doing anything illegal, like the non-governmental organizations, if they're doing something that way, they should be tracked. Like that activity should be tracked, and if it is
Hmm.
liable to any punishment, they should what do you say, get the punishment. uh, and so there's one more thing about the section 1. So I didn't understand that part, so can you explain it
Which
again?
one? Which one?
So the international memorandum thing, I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah, yeah.
understand it properly
Okay.
last class.
See, yeah. The Oran, the international thing is like if particular person is from, say, Australia, say for example, and particular person is from India, okay, and the person use some kind of online access, okay, so you have TeamViewer or something like that, any kind of, say for any example, in those kind of technologies or tools, and he do some any cyber crime. He's sitting over there in Australia, and he do it. Might be the person who's sitting over here in India illiterate, or he don't understood the whatever the smart thing, which is illegal only, how smartly that person has done. But again, if it is brewed properly, yes, he is also punishable. That is the thought process.
So that person has to
Yeah.
be an
So yeah.
Indian.
No, no. The thing is, like, if any person who is from outside India use internet or any such technology, or that person comes to India and do something which takes out some from pen drive, or with the help of any kind of the series or any kind of thing, take out the data which is a private data or a very confidential data, or through internet you do something, though he is not an Indian citizen, still he is punishable, because the under Information Technology Act, as India is a part of the World Trade Organization, and India is a part of so many kind of international bodies as a member, obviously. Then it becomes many countries has done understanding that if someone from our country also do something illegal, you can give the punishment if your citizen or your residential person who is there in India faced any kind of loss, and this is under the United Nations, because there are around to start with, or almost now 66 to around 70 countries are there, which are under the membership of United Nations, and all countries have done obviously the under memorandum of understanding with each other, that any crime has happened, yes, the country in which that person is there and who suffered the losses, the other party, the aggrieved party, can take a legal action, and the government can impose the strict actions against the party who is doing it, though that party is not from that native country.
Okay, okay, sir, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Shrivats, can you put something which is we are not done? Means we are not done means those who are not speak up, tell me some additional points that the United Nations point I just explained. Any other specific point? We already talked about electronic sign and digital sign. Can you put your views on that?
So that is something I don't know actually. You can ask me anything else.
Okay, you speak whatever you know, no problem.
So basically about cyber laws and why they are important. It is like it was introduced in 1999 by Pramod Mahajan, and it is important because even cyber crime is um, as wrong as any other types of crime. So to tackle that, IT Act was important, and making it a part of IPC was a good decision, I feel. So,
but then why IPC was introduced?
So that we can criminalize any cyber crimes.
Okay. Means if there is no agreement, or not agreement, you can say, there is no confirmation is given, or there is no authority given under Indian Penal Code, what the right information technology holds then, or whether he has any legal power, or then it just become an act and no punishments can be done. It's like that.
So I feel it's like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Very good. Saint, can you?
Sorry, sir.
No, you're done.
Okay.
Shivas, you are done.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Next is, I think Saint is there. Can you? Suthira Sen, I think, if I'm not wrong. Can you speak, Suthira Sen? I don't know whether she's here. Okay, fine. Varun, can you? Yes, Varun. Even he can't speak, or he's not just logged in. Wilford, can you? Wilford? I think Wilford is here only.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you just speak up?
Yes. 1 minute. Yeah, sir. So in the first lecture, we spoke about the cyber law, the Information Technology Act, and like how it doesn't cover only the network, like internet fraud, but also like any virtual or like digital, like transactions or event. Uh, about how it is like it works in hand with the IPC, and that it was initialized in 2000, 9th June 2000, and then it was like its implication started from 17th October the same year. Um, it basically it also spoke about how like what like, so like if there is any transaction happening which is like illegal, it doesn't matter if the person is from India or from outside India, but the event is happening in India, they will be under this act. And then we spoke about how many, like it had 94 sections and 13 chapters and all that. And that a major amendment was made in December 2008 of like the penalties of it being like 5 lakh penalty or being imprisoned or a combination of both. Um, then we also like section 69 which spoke about cyber terrorism, of how like how
Means,
details or
yeah,
details
the cyber,
information was stored.
cyber terrorism talks about the cyber terrorism is more dangerous. Cyber terrorism can do a lot of kinds of thefts, and those thefts are quite dangerous compared to a normal theft. Means a person without coming to your home or nearby to your home, sitting at his place only, still he can do, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, sir. And I think then we spoke about what was it? We spoke about the cases which happened in 2002, the Delhi case where the website was hacked, I think. And then we spoke about another case, and we had discussed the scope of cyber law.
Yes, yes, very good, very good. I think then next is, I think Yash, Jaha, Varun, and Pranjay. They are, you suggested, means if they are not attending the lectures. Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, so we'll continue what we are left in the last lecture. As we already done about data signature, correct? If I'm not wrong, section 2 we are talking about electronic signature, and we are talking about data signature. Electronic signature is just like you have a passport, or you have a PIN number, you have a thumb impression, biometric impressions. That is electronic signature. While data signature is public key and private key. Public key is there, we get a code, and that can be verified by the people, while private key is the authentication we do. Generally this digital signature are used in income tax, uploading of income tax return, GST return, or some very important document when you have to comply with the Companies Act after doing the income tax return filing. On those kind of things, this is very important, correct? Yes or no, we are done up to this stage, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mm. So then let's continue. Right now, data signature. Data signature. So we are continuing with this section 2, and this is the last part of section 2, and then we'll move to section 3. Data signature is authentication is authentication of any electronic record by the subscriber by the subscriber by means of by means of electronic methods by means of electronic methods, public procedures public procedures It means it means once a digital signature once a digital signature is made is made it gives a confirmation it gives a confirmation it gives a confirmation that whatever documents have been uploaded whatever documents have been uploaded or shared are are valid are valid as per best of information as per best of information and knowledge based of information and knowledge. Who signs it? Who signs it? Who signs it? In case of in case of companies in case of companies director director oblique CEO director oblique CEO oblique CFO oblique CFO makes a digital signature makes a digital signature with assistance from with assistance from company secretary with assistance from company secretary or chartered accountant or chartered accountant or such or such legal expert or such legal expert. Now such legal expert means what? This word is very important. Basically, where this digital signature used? This digital signature used to do some international contracts, international agreements, or international joint ventures. Now, once this can be from one demographic area to extremely another demographic area, the person who is the CEO of the Indian company has to do a memorandum of understanding or agreement with the person sitting over in US, or it might be in Iceland, might be in Norway, might be in New Zealand, somewhere else. Okay, so it is once you do that digital signature, it becomes binding on the parties. And once the CFO, CEO, or director do that, it is binding on the company because he is representing the company. Generally, the digital signature is taken of one or two persons, or as per the rules and regulations, or if the memorandum and articles of association company says, they always will use who will do the digital signature on the whatever kind of the contracts will perform with the help of digital signature. Point number one. Point number two is like when you upload your income tax return as a company, okay, or you file your income GST return, or Not necessary you have to file your income tax return, but once you file your income tax return, as per Companies Act 1956, even you have to upload the return with the company affairs, okay, or we say corporate affairs, because even companies we wish to know what is the name of your company, what kind of business you are doing, and what is your structure and strategy. Obviously, they require all this to collect the data and to come with the whatever industrial policy or the budget which India come every year. That is the one part. Now, once you do it, it becomes compulsory on your part, or it becomes binding or part, that whatever it is written over there, at least you think it is true and fair. Okay, might be it is not 100% you are aware of, but as a representative of the company, as a CEO or the CFO or the director of company, you have to give a confirmation that most of the things, okay, obviously they say 100%, but that is the word they use, best of the knowledge and information, whatever you know or whatever the documents have been uploaded are fair. Why? Because it's the same documents, the same annual report or same kind of agreements will be disclosed to the public at large, or will be disclosed to the stakeholders. Why it is important? Let's say for example there is a ABC company, and that ABC company is a multinational company, or it can be the listed company, something like that. And what happens is when you talk about these kind of companies, they have so many stakeholders. Now, stakeholder is different from shareholder. Who are stakeholders? The people who are interested in your organization. Who are interested in your organization? There are so many people interested in your organization. Say, for example, shareholders, government, debtor, creditor, might be the people who are giving you the loan, might be the creditor, might be the debtors. There are so many people, those who have an interest in your organization. Why they have interest in your organization? Simple logic, because either the money is received by them from you, or money is payable by them to you. So it is generally important that it has to be shared with all. It can be on the website of company, it can be the annual report can be published in leading English newspaper or regional paper. There's so many multiple options are there, and that's why it is important that once you do digital signature, you're authenticating or you're giving the confirmation that yes, whatever the data is there as a company, let it be very small company, not a listed company, but that data is true and fair. Or not necessary it is a company, it can be a charitable trust, it can be a partnership firm, it can be anything. Understood everyone?
Yes, sir.
Anyone any doubt? Yes, anyone any doubt, ask me. Yes, anyone any doubt? Everyone understood this?
So, would you please briefly repeat the stakeholder point?
Yeah. See, stakeholders means the people who are interested in your organization. Say, for example, say Mr. A has opened a company, okay, and A has taken the loan from, say, Axis Bank. A has taken the loan from his friends. A has taken the raw material on credit basis, that he will say to these people, yes, I will pay the money to you, but just wait, after I'll pay you after say 4 or 5 months. I don't have money right now. He must have sold some goods after the processing of some raw materials. So all the and then even he has to pay some income tax. He has to pay some GST over there. Now all these people are become stakeholders. Why stakeholders? Because they have directly or indirectly interest in your organization. Why? Because the friend has given the loan, so he want that loan back. Bank has given the loan, they want repayment of loan or EMIs at least. Government is interested to collect a tax on you. Might be the creditor says, okay, I've given the raw material to you at a free of cost almost. Now please make the repayment of that. Might be friend also interested to get his money back. So the people who are interested in organization called as a stakeholders, and it is a compulsory. Let it be a partnership firm, that is limited liability partnership, which is a famous thing which is coming, which is called an LLP. Okay, so there are big LLPs also there, where the partners have the limited liabilities. Even all these organizations, if their stakeholders demand, yes, we want to know the financial position, we want to know this, or we want to know that what kind of the joint venture you are doing, whatever the annual report they will disclose in, and along with the annual report they will give some annexures, the additional information, something like that. It has to be authenticated, and once you put a digital signature over there, you authenticate or you give a trust or you provide a trust that whatever it is written over there, it is true and fair. And if not, then obviously it is a criminal act, and those who are already signing or all those people will be punishable, because it shows that you have published fake information. So that's why this it becomes compulsory nowadays, that you should make a digital signature. So it authenticated, it creates a responsibility on your head, and you will not sign unless until you just at least go through that. Getting it? Any doubt in this? Anyone? Yes, anyone, any doubt? Please ask me. Yes, anyone, any doubt? All of you understood properly? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll have a break of 5 minutes, or shall we
Yes,
continue?
it's a break.
Okay. It's 10 minutes past 9. We'll exactly meet at 9:15. Okay. See you everyone. Thank you. Yeah, we continue now. I think everyone is here. Right on. Section 3. So this is section 2 is done. Now section 3. Authentication of electronic records. Authentication of electronic records. Right on. Subject to the various provisions. Subject to the various provisions under this section. Subject to the various provisions under this section. Any person can authenticate an electronic record by affixing his digital signature by affixing his digital signature.
So can you repeat the line?
Yeah. Subject to the various provisions under this section, any subscriber may authenticate an electronic record by affixing his digital signature. This is only possible when a crypto system is used in symmetric way. A crypto system is used in symmetric way and hash function is used for transformation. Hash function used for transformation using algorithms. In simple manner. It is a process where, in simple manner, it is a process where there will be use of public key and private key. There will be use of public key and private key, which is a sequence of complex numbers, with uniqueness, with hash option,
So
with
sorry, can you
hash.
repeat the last
Yeah,
line?
yeah. In simple manner, it is a sequence of complex numbers with uniqueness and with hash function where both are used correctly, both are used correctly, then only both are used correctly, then only the document can be checked, document can be checked or assessed, document can be checked or assessed. Simple logic. A is there, okay. A want to say for example to upload something, he want to use digital signature. Yes, you will use it. He has a private key, again typical complex number system with hash function and all, he will do it. The parties who want to read out that, they will use public key. There is also a typical complex number system with hash function is there, and automatically what will happen, they will cross check both things, and once both number systems are matched with each other, okay, then only you can assess or access or whatever. If it's allowed, you can download this thing. If not, you can't. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Everyone? Yes, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, you want to know more in detail? Okay. Write down the example. A sends a message to B. A sends a message to B. Message means obviously some document or something like that. Okay. Using private key. Using private key. Which is encrypted. Using private key. Which is encrypted. And algorithm systems. And algorithm systems. Due to his signature gate. Due to which his signature gate. Due to which his signature gate.
So can you please repeat this line?
Yeah. Due to which his signature gate, using algorithmic thing, comma, due to which his signature gate.
No, so which is encrypted and algorithm systems after that?
Yeah, algorithm systems are used, then comma, which creates his signature, or signature is being formed or created, any word you can use. and then and then and then B can access the same. B can access the same using public key. B can access the same using public key. Using decryption. Using decryption. Using decryption. DECRYPT, or using decryption. It means again algorithms are used. It means again algorithms are used.
Pardon, sir?
It means again algorithms are used. If B successfully opens the message, if B successfully opens the message, that is a valid signature, then it is a valid signature and correct extraction. It is a valid signature and correct extraction of data. If B fails to open, if B fails to open, then it has to be re-authenticated. Then it has to be re-authenticated. It means again he has to try. He must have used a wrong complex number system or something has gone wrong. Okay. But then sometimes what happens that the party who do it, over here the example is A, no one can open it. Everyone says there is a problem, there is a problem, there is a problem, and no one is able to open it. Then what is the simple logic? It means when it is being created, when it is uploaded by who? Uploaded by A, then A has to again use a private key. Okay, then it is a fault of that person. So first you have to cross check. Might be there are 20 people, and out of 20 people, 19 people can open it by using public key. Means it is true and fair. Only one is not opening, so he has done something wrong. But everyone unable to open, then it is a simple logic that when the private key uses, it is something wrong you have used, and then it becomes only your responsibility to use authentication again. That is authentication has to be done of private key again. Do it the same procedure. Okay, validate it and then send to every person again, and then everyone can get it. Understood? Everyone getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
everyone just go to, yeah, just go through this. Have any doubts, ask me. Just give a minute. Just go through. Fine, shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right on. Now this is over. We'll go to the next section. Section 4, right now. Section 4 talks about Section 4 talks about legal recognition. Legal recognition of electronic records. Legal recognition of electronic records. Right on. Before before Information Technology Act 2000, before Information Technology Act 2000 was implemented, was implemented, only only paper based documents, only paper-based documents where only paper-based documents were accepted as valid proof or evidence in court of law. But then, but then, with the introduction of this act, but then, with the introduction of this act, even electronic records, are taken, even electronic records are taken as a valid proof, as a valid proof in the court of law. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? Anyone? Means you can submit a paper documents as a proof, as evidence in the court of law, or now even electronic records are also allowed. But how the electronic records are allowed? Very important, that it is a company or it is something like that. Again, simple logic, digital signature. If it is a digital signature is there, yes, it is taken as authenticated. So either you have to make digital signature, or whatever the code says, okay, you can give the at least put a proper authenticated email or something like that, that is also valid. But generally when it is a matter of companies, corporate affairs and all that, they generally stress that put a digital signature on it. Yes, anyone, any doubt? Yes, anyone? Shall we go ahead?
Yes.
No, sir.
Right on. Section 5 is interlinked. Right on. Next line. Section 5 is interlinked with Section 4, where not only electronic records, not only electronic records, but even electronic signatures, electronic signatures, that is digital signatures, that is digital signatures, are also valid, or are also valid in a court of law, also valid in a court of law, which is which is allowed by which is allowed by central government, which is allowed by central government, binding on binding on all the government offices, all the government offices. Means if any case is there which is regards to the government, now not only government, and now even in the private also, but why they said government? Because the court of law is controlled by government. So once the court of law says yes, then everywhere you have to accept. So let it be any document, it is an electronic image is there, you put a digital signature. Not necessary that electronic documents are there and you have to do the physical signature and all that, not required. You can just put a digital signature, that is also valid. And that's why I said section 4 and section 5 are interlinked. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Anyone any doubts? Yes, anyone? Okay, fine. So I'll just take attendance. We'll continue from section 6 to 10A. All these sections we'll do in the next lecture. All these sections are some way or the other are interlinked, and they promote the electronic use and how that electronic use is valid now in the court of law. That is their thought process. Okay. Fine with everyone? And regards to your link and all, okay, I'll just talk with who is Amol sir or Anaga ma'am, why you are getting that late? I don't know. Let's see.
So,
Yeah.
for the videos and all which you told me last time, actually my Google Drive is completely full, so it has no empty space. So, if anyone else has that
Yeah.
space,
Yeah. Anyone, please.
no, sir, I
Tanmay
have
is.
to again create it a different separate Google Drive if I have to put it.
Tanmay, can you do it? Can you just open any Gmail account, something like that? Or Devesh, can you? Or anyone want to take the responsibility voluntarily? Wilford, can you? Yes,
Yes,
Wilford.
sir.
Can you just take the responsibility of just saving the links of our lecture in the drive?
Sir, my Google Drive is already full, so I can't exactly do that.
Okay, Srivats, no, I don't want to ask anyone, just raise your hand voluntarily. Oran, can you? Oran or Shruti?
So can it be put on stream? So like why use a drive, use someone's drive? Like
Yes,
so I
can you do
don't
that?
okay, so I'll do that.
Okay. Okay, Tanmay, Oran will do from today, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. If possible, just take for today, and from next section, Oran will take care of. Is it okay, Tanmay?
Yeah, sir, no problem.
Yeah. Okay. We'll take attendance now. First, we start with Division B people. PRN 5.
Present, sir.
Yeah. Then 7. 7 is not there. 8.
Present, sir.
10.
Present, sir.
Okay. 12.
Present, sir.
Then 13. 14. Yes, 14. 14 is not there. Okay. Then we have Arpit is there only. Then we have Avi is
Sir,
there.
present.
Tanmay is there. Yeah.
Arpit
Om
present.
is. Yeah. Then Om is not there. Then Darren is not there. Deepa is there. Ritika is there. Devraj is there. Dheeraj is there. Diksha is there. Vaibhav Gupta is not there.
Sir, I'm present.
Okay. Then Harshit is there, Himanki is there, Jannavi is there,
Yes, sir,
Kartikeya,
present.
yeah. Kartikeya Saxena is not there. Then Vaibhav 45, whether he is there, Vaibhav, not there. Then Kumar Ashwin 47, not there. Muhammad is there. Then Nishkan Wadhwa is not there. Then 57 Kaur, not there. Pallavi 58, not there. Prabhat
Present, sir.
65, Pratyaksh,
Sir, 63. Yes, sir. 65 is there, sir.
yeah, 63 is there, 65 is there. Then
Yes, sir.
66 is also there. Then Raghav 67, Raghav, Raghav is not there. Okay. Then Rahul, Rahul is also not there. Shubhavi 79, she's there. Okay. Then Oran is there, Srivatsi is there, Shritra Sen is there, Tejal, Tejal, Tejal is not there. Varun is there, Yash is there, Anirudh Roy,
Yes, sir. 92 present.
who is 79 and 50 is there. 79 is there only, and 50 is also there. Fine. So this is done division B people, and
Sir, 22.
yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Can you just wait? Just wait.
Excuse me, sir.
Hmm.
Sir,
Bolo.
77 from Division A. I missed my roll call. Sorry for that.
No. I'm just starting division. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
I just taken division B first. What is your roll number?
77, sir. Division A.
Om Bide, when you join, because almost up to the whatever I asked at the initial stage, you are not there only in the list. When you
Sir,
join
I
the
joined
lecture,
by
Om,
9 o'clock, sir. I was late, sir, today.
why? Any specific
Sir,
reason?
electricity issue, sir.
Okay, fine. We'll start with division A people. 1, 2, 3, all are absent. Okay. Then 4 absent. Then 6, 6, 6, 6.
Sir, is the attendance going on? Because we can't hear you.
Everyone can hear, or no one can hear?
Now we
Sir,
can hear,
now
sir.
Okay, okay. So, okay. 44 is there or no?
Sir, you have missed PRN 2.
Okay, 2 is present.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 2 is present. 1 is absent. Okay. Then 3 is also absent. 4 absent. 5, 6, then 9 absent. 11 is
Present, sir.
present.
So
Is
PRN
present.
11 is present.
Yeah, yeah, Ali, you are present only. Then Anubhav Jain,
So
15.
PRN 9.
Yes, sir. Anubhav Jain, 15, present.
Okay. Then Anubhav Jain is present. Then Anuj, 16, 16. Absent. Then we have Atul, absent. 23, Chirag, absent. Devesh is present only. Then Himesh present, Ritik present. Jatin is also present. Kanishk present. Keshav, 44, absent. Kshitij present. Kushan is present. Then Muskan, 51, absent. Then Nirbhar, 52, absent. Then Nikhil is present. Nirmit 54, absent. Then 56, absent. Then 59, absent. Then 60, Smith is there. Yeah, Smith is there. 61, absent. Then 64, Pranay, absent. Rahul 69,
yes,
absent. Then Rishabh is present. Then Rohit is there. Satvik is there. Then 74. Yeah, Rohit, they are there. Then 74, absent. Then 75, Sanskar Agarwal is there. Then Shiv Rohit, 76, absent. Then 77, absent. Shruti Bajpayee is present, 78.
77, sir.
Then 81, Cheryl, absent.
Sir,
Present, sir.
80 present. Sir, you didn't take name of 80.
80 is present only, yeah. Then 81 is
So
done.
the
Sukanya,
present, sir.
84. Yeah, yeah. 84, Sukanya. Absent. Okay. Then Sumit, 85.
Yes, sir, present.
Then 87.
Sir, 84 present.
Yes. 87, absent. Then 89, absent. 91,
Yes, sir,
absent.
91 present.
91 present. Okay.
Sir,
92.
91 present.
Okay. 92.
Yes, sir, present.
Oh, okay. 95. 95 is absent. Okay. Then 96 is also absent. Then 97, Rishikesh, absent. Wilford is present. 98 is present.
yes, sir,
Then
98.
Rahul. Yeah, yeah. 100, Rahul, absent. Okay. Then Krishnan, 103 is present only. Ahmed, 104, absent. Okay. Then
Sir,
105, absent. 107, Dale, absent. Then Akanksha, 108, absent. And 109, absent. Yes.
So,
Anyone?
PRN 53 Nikhil Bagri has typed in the chat box. I told you, right, his mic is not working.
Yeah, yeah. I given the present. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Bolo.
excuse me, sir.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Tell me.
56 said that her network went out for last like 10-15 minutes, so she can't actually
Okay,
give
okay.
the
Okay. No, no problem. I'll give that in. No problem.
so
Anyone
Sir,
else?
38.
What is your roll number? 38. No, Ritik, you are present only.
Yes, yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir, did you mark 77?
Yeah, yeah. Present only.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so thank you
Sir, have
everyone.
you marked
Okay. Roll number.
48?
Yeah. Yeah. Present only. Yeah. Rishabh, you are present only. Don't worry. Okay, so thank you everyone. We continue with section 6 to 10. They are again on the electronic base and all those thought processes. Okay. Tanmay, just take care for today, and from next lecture, Oren will take care of the recording. Okay. So thank you everyone. Okay. See you all of you in next lecture. Okay. Bye bye.